going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the NBA Slate Starter Podcast. I'm Eric, joined with my buddy Ryan as we break down Tuesday. How many games is it? 6 games for DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo in the old DFS department. I did not play very much tonight. I had some stuff come up. Obviously, I'm back in my home setup, so I guess that's a plus. I'm going to be sleeping in my own bed. Again, Phoenix was fantastic. Got to get a little golf in with my dad. Got to focus on some other stuff. It was kind of a mild Monday for me for sure, but I'm excited to get back into the DFS streets. Ryan, how'd your night go?
Not as well as planned, obviously. That's going to be most nights playing
Went well
DFS.
for Eli. Congratulations to our Awesemo cohort. What a freak. What a year for this guy.
Yeah, Eli's a stud. He's one of the best. So there's no denying that. He got there. He got up top and he held on. Great lineup for him. I unfortunately did not have a lineup better than that. So that's how it works. That's how it goes. Unfortunately, I had a lot of Andre Drummond. I made a huge stand with him today across the board. And it's the reason why my lineups failed. He was probably my highest owned player. I was pretty bullish on the price tag upside, and Brooklyn just took the game off. So that's that. But outside of that, I nailed everything else, it seemed like, outside of Andre Drummond. So process was there.
Really fun, Ryan? You know what's really fun, though, is that I know that tomorrow you're going to make positive EV decisions again, because that's what you do. And you can't look at the results. You can't look at the fact that you didn't have a 100K W, because sometimes garbage stuff happens, like me accidentally locking in Embiid and you get paid off for garbage, and stuff happens all the time. Overtime 2 nights ago. So on Sunday night, it was the night of overtimes. And Monday, if Andre Drummond was under 20%, he was low owned. I would have gotten murdered tonight. So Andre Drummond was a smash. We talked about that last night.
Yeah. I have no issues with the process. I do have issues with the results. That's what I'm saying.
All right, well, that's fair. Another underrated thing, SiriusXM radio, listening to basketball, going across. I was going back and forth between like OKC and Memphis. I mean, just listening to these announcers talk about Ja Morant and Shea. We have a great young group of stars in the NBA right now. And, as much as we always talk about DFS on this, I mean, there's just some unbelievable players that are going in the league right now.
Yeah. I think it's that we're also caught in the moment of social media. We get to see what's happening more frequently and more often.
It's true.
As the game evolves, players get better and better, and it's something that we're here along the ride for.
Yeah, and then we get to play DFS and benefit by, hey, smashing the like button, subscribe button, notification bell, so we can keep doing this lovely DFS content where we cover the likes of Ja Morant, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and such, and listen to them smash on XM radio. It was actually a really fun drive for those purposes. But we are ready to get going here, my friend. It is late your time. You were a stud for staying up for me. Thank you. Let's get to it, shall we, my friend?
That's right.
All right, top end here. We've got guard Luka Doncic, Steph Curry there, 12K and 10-8 respectively. Luka coming off of facing Golden State, the number one team in terms of defensive efficiency, an absolute flurry to the end of that game, though, for him. Couldn't believe some of the poor coaching from Steve Kerr to not lock that one in. This is why you don't assume that you win a game before you win a game in the NBA, but some coaches, they're just never going to learn. Steph Curry, though, 10-8 against Minnesota. I think we can go back to the well there as well. There's a ceiling there. It's not going to be the most enticing thing. Klay Thompson should be back, but that assist rate has been crazy of late, 14 and 10. As long as he's doing some of that here too, I think 10-8, tournament purposes, sub 10%. You know what you're going to get with Steph Curry at 10-8. Trae Young, 10K against Boston. Tougher spot there, but he's succeeded in tougher here. And Jaylen Brown, 8,700. I guess we just got to talk about this too. Fred VanVleet didn't play today. He's going to be questionable on this back-to-back. Scottie Barnes night. Happy Scottie Barnes night to all of you fine people out there in the world. But if Fred VanVleet's back, Malachi Flynn was a thing that I'm sure popped up in the DFS streets today, seeing that he was in the starting lineup. Again, I put some riffraff into FanDuel. I didn't really care. But on DraftKings tomorrow, if Fred VanVleet plays against Brooklyn, yay. If he doesn't, Malachi Flynn season again, Ryan?
I think so. I think you can go to Malachi Flynn yet again. We'll see the situation of VanVleet as that's back to back with the same matchup. So, but spending up top, 12K Luka Doncic against the Lakers team, you got to have a lot of interest there. Trae Young, 10K. I like Trae Young a decent amount at $10,000. Would you rather spend up an 800 more and go to Steph Curry versus Minnesota? Yeah, Curry is fine. I think both guys are fine. Not all that exciting, but I think savings makes a lot of sense there. The next tier, guys, we get the tier of Jaylen Brown and Reggie Jackson. 8,200 might be the most expensive Reggie Jackson's ever been. Now taking on a Houston team, can he get there? Sure. It's tough for me to pay $8,200 for Reggie Jackson. I'm not going to even lie to you, but he's doing it all. Anthony Edwards is $7,400. Nice bounce back game in terms of fantasy wise today. I still like going to him at $7,400. He's sticks out to me. I like him the most out of that range, and he's in the Cade Cunningham, Russell Westbrook, and D'Angelo Russell range. I like Anthony Edwards the most there. I think the field will as well. Now, looking down a little bit more and other guys who stick out at the guard spot, I think Kevin Porter Jr., if he goes, I like at $6K. If not, save $1,000 more and fall on Pat Bev. The minutes are there. Washington guys continue to play minutes. The trio of Denny Abdia, KCP, Corey Kispert. All of those guys are fine, and Raul Neto as well as getting all those minutes. They're taking on Detroit team, so I have a good feeling one of those guys can definitely get there for you. The matchup, the minutes, all things put together. So it makes sense to fall on one of those Wizards value options.
I would agree. We've got those three teams that are on back-to-backs here for tomorrow. Toronto, Brooklyn, just running the entire game back. And then Minnesota, as you said, Anthony Edwards. I think that is definitely going to make a lot of sense there. And, I don't know what the value looks like, but Patrick Beverley seems to be a guy you can roster all the time there at that 5K number. Again, 6-game slate, we shall see. But yeah, Malachi Flynn's going to be popular if there's no Fred VanVleet, and he probably should be. You only have the one game locking at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and if that lineup comes out around the same time as what it did today, you're looking just over half an hour until we get that news. But I think everybody will kind of assume Malachi Flynn in the exact same matchup would be the guy to fill in there. So probably no edge to going that direction. He will be crazy owned. Luka 10-8 on the top end here on FanDuel.com. Jaylen Brown, 8K down there. But yeah, the point guard position is just loaded here. 9,700 Steph Curry. That's a lot better than DK. 9,500 Trae Young. That's a lot better than DK. D'Angelo Russell sub 8K. That's interesting. But man, if Fred VanVleet does play against Brooklyn, he's 7,500. He was able to get a night off here. I would have a lot of interest in trying to make that a thing. And I know he's broken, but oh, hey, look, they've got Cade Cunningham and Reggie Jackson at 7K. Those are just kind of wrong. Talk to me about FanDuel guard, which just so many more options.
Yeah, obviously point guard, shooting guard guys definitely sticking out. There's a bunch. I mean, just looking all the way at the bottom, we still get a sub 5K Beverly, a sub 5K KCP, a sub 7K Anthony Edwards at $6,600. Man, he's going to be quite popular, and I think makes a lot of sense to go there. Now we get a sub 7K Russ Westbrook at $6,600. Wow, Russell Westbrook has fallen to $6,600. It's that is something. My God, how
and against the slowest pace team in the league in Dallas, are you going to roster him?
TBD. I'm not sure, man. It's rough out there now. It's rough. I mean,
it was one of the worst outings I've ever seen in my life. That Pelicans game, watched it with my dad. He was just like, I don't think they're trying. That was an actual comment from Bill Lindquist throwing it out there.
Yeah, I don't think they were either. Yeah, Cade Cunningham 7K. I like a decent amount in that Washington matchup. Targeting Houston's been profitable all season long, so it makes sense if you want to go to Reggie Jackson. Luke Kennard's at 4,600. He was awful from three. I think that can easily turn around for him. But man, spending up top, there's Luka, there's Steph Curry, who's outstanding at 9,700. There's $9,500 Trae Young. They're all great. If VanVleet's good to go, I think you can definitely make him a priority at $7,500. Point guard, shooting guard is loaded just because of some pricing mistakes and some matchup plus side matchups for some of these players. So I think you spreading around your point guard ownership makes a lot of sense, as well the shooting guard options as well.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous position. There are so many pieces. I'd say it's similar to today. Obviously, I built a few, and it looked as though you could play anybody at guard. The top end was loaded. The mid-range was loaded. The bottom end was loaded. And obviously you needed a lot of those top end guys. Hi, Shay. Hi, Ja. Hi. Brandon Goodwin. It's a crazy world that we're living in. Guard spot over on our sponsor, Yahoo. Thank you so much to them for their sponsorship here of the NBA Slate Starter Podcast. Luka, $56. Trey, $42. Steph, $41. We've got Fred VanVleet there at 34. We've got Cade Cunningham, 29. Westbrook, 29. Just play him on FanDuel if you really want to take that Russell Westbrook shot. But it's so weird looking at that and being like, no, I don't want to play a sub 7K Russell Westbrook. It's crazy times. Gary Payton, the second. $12 here for this guy who played very well. 27 minutes against Dallas and 28 fantasy points. I think you could do worse than punting with him, but it's going to be hard to get away from the likes of Luke Kennard, $10, getting to some of these other guys. Killian Hayes played a boatload of minutes. Do you know why he played a boatload of minutes against Charlotte? He played 31 in that spot.
Yeah, he just finished the game into overtime. So that's what happened.
Oh, there you go.
He's playing pretty good defense for the Pistons there. That's why he got there. He's
$10 on Yahoo is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I've played Killian Hayes a handful of times. It probably hasn't worked out most of the times, but it's $10 if you're looking for a spend down option. Makes some sense to go there. But look, let's see what to spend up for on Yahoo. Luka's expensive at $56. I like saving $15 and going to Steph Curry at $41. Trae Young is $42. I like Curry to Trae Young over here for sure. The next year, guys, you get Reggie Jackson at $25, Cade at $29. Cade and Russ are both $29. They're fine. Russ, it's sad to see how far he's fallen. But Kevin Porter Jr., 22, if he goes, I'll have interest. Terrence Mann continues to play well as he gets those backup point guard minutes here and there. I prefer Luke Kennard for a $10 play at guard. I think he's pretty solid. The Washington guys in Neto and KCP make a ton of sense as well. There will be no Kyrie Irving in Toronto. Yes, it's an away game, but Kyrie Irving is not allowed to, I believe, enter the country. From my belief. So,
I just love that that's NBA analysis in 2022. I love that.
No, that's Kyrie Irving analysis, but Kyrie can't enter the country. So we should no, Goran Dragic's minutes continue to be limited, so it'll be tough for me to fall there. Yeah, one of the guys in the backcourt for Brooklyn can pan out. Maybe it's Cam Thomas or Patty Mills or Seth Curry. One of those guys, they should definitely be able to bounce back against Toronto.
Maybe they want to meet in Buffalo and play a game. Just Brooklyn and Toronto, meet me halfway. A little bit of that. Man, it's just Kyrie Irving. What a dude. This is an offer, though. This is much better. Here we go. Get one free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. You deposit $10 or more as a new user, and you get one free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. That's every sport behind the paywall, not just the NBA, but we have MMA going. We have PGA going. You have the top fighters tool for MMA. You have the top golfers tool for PGA. PGA Pro Plays, where all the top players in the world, and then, somebody like myself puts in their top plays for the golf week. It's been absolute fire over there the last 5 weeks. So I think you want to be joining that, checking out the best DFS content around the industry, bar none. And you get all of that just by signing up and trying out Yahoo, where they have the lowest rake, best contest possible. They've started having some of these massive contests, 5K, 6K, 10K to first on a lot of these nights. It is a really fun product over there. And that lowest rake that I referred to, 11.5% management fee. That is about 5% difference than DraftKings and FanDuel's main contests that they're putting out every single night. So stop guessing, start winning. Join us here at Awesemo, but do it through this promotion where you literally sign up at the best site per dollar, best point per dollar site, yahoo.com. Check them out. Thank you so much to their sponsorship of the NBA Slate Starter Podcast all season long. All right, my friend, let's go to the forward spot. Top end here, we've got LeBron James with that questionable thing. Now, coming off of an absolute drumming and maybe the most embarrassing game that I've ever seen LeBron James take place, that he's ever played in. The guy had 7 turnovers. He couldn't get by Herbert Jones. It was kind of funny when you think about it. Like, he looked awful against Herbert Jones. And, that's just what life is now for LeBron, where he's trying to do everything for this team. 13 for 23 from the field. He was effective. 1 for 4 from three. At the end of that game, they just tried to put out a bunch of 3-point shooters and make it work. And Richard Jefferson was just making fun of them the entire time. It was incredible analysis, but 11-2, maybe there's an actual left knee soreness here, but I think this is just one of those fake Q tags that we have on LeBron all the time. Against Dallas, they need to start winning basketball games. Jason Tatum, they're 9,800 against Atlanta. Kyle Kuzma is now 9,200. Pinch me. I don't know what year it is, but the guy keeps putting up over 60 plus every night. Are we going to be roster? I'm just going to stop there. Are we going to roster a 9,200 Kyle Kuzma tomorrow?
Kind of have to consider it. He continues to pay off the price tag. 25, 30 shot attempts could be on the table. And he's been low owned. And the upside is now 50 points, 60 points at times. So yeah, Kuz is definitely in play. It's a Detroit spot where the matchup does not scare me. The upside is there. Yeah, talk about LeBron James. I think I'll continue to go to him. 11-2, we might get LeBron at an ownership discount. That'll have me interested in him. I think he should be hopefully fine. Yeah, 50 points should be the floor there, and the upside for more is definitely there. Jaylen Brown seems priced appropriately. Jason Tatum, 9,800. Both those Boston guys are priced appropriately, while one of them can definitely get an upside game out of there. So, but I like saving. We've touched on Anthony Edwards, 7,400. I like going to him. Andrew Wiggins, $6,200. Klay Thompson, I believe, is sick. He won't be playing tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, he's not? I didn't see that. These are the things I miss.
I could be wrong, but I think he's sick. But $6,200. Wiggins is in play versus Minnesota. Jeremy Grant had a nice bounce back game at $6,300. He kind of took over in the overtime there. I like going to him. Now, some spend down options down here. The Washington guys yet again stick out. There's Kispert and Avdia. Thad Young, 3,700. I think we can continue to go to him. James Johnson was very popular. Today, I think he'll be popular tomorrow. I think we can go back to him. The minutes were obviously depressed because of the awful performance by their team, but I think he can bounce back. Same matchup. I think it's completely fine to go to James Johnson tomorrow.
Go to DraftKings. Well, I mean, you're on DraftKings, I'm assuming. Go to the forward spot and click on Rui Hachimura.
He's 3,400, yeah.
Look at his second game in the box score. He didn't play 60 minutes, did he? This is a typo, right?
Yeah.
I know there was double overtime, which is why I'm bringing this up, because I need to know. Because it's impossible for somebody to play 60 minutes. That is math, right? 58 would be the maximum.
In double OT, yeah.
I hope box score watchers are taking notice. It was just one of those things that, fooling around looking at stuff.
I don't mind playing him, though, at that price tag.
I don't mind it either. I would love 60 minutes, give or take, in that spot. You could be a 0.2 DraftKings points per minute producer. Just thought I'd point that out for everybody paying attention at home. Do your box score watching. I was just kidding. Don't ever do that. I just don't have any choice because I couldn't build a sheet today. Let's go to the top here of FanDuel.com. LeBron James, 11K, even better over there. As you said, I like LeBron tomorrow, so long as he's playing. I'm assuming that he's going to play, and it would really be brutal if he wasn't, because you're not going to know for 2 hours. Maybe that'll lower rostership even more. I hope he's questionable all through the day, and people don't assume that he's playing like Ryan and myself. Jason Tatum, 8,900. Kyle Kuzma, 8,700. That's too cheap. That's weird to say as well. Jaylen Brown, your boy, Bogdan Bogdanovic, the Miami nightclub specialist himself, is sitting there at 6,700, coming off of the bench here for Atlanta. Kind of crazy to see his price up that high as a result. You know what I'm talking about. Talk to me about forward over on FanDuel.
Yeah, forward spending up top. LeBron's there. Then there's Tatum, 8,900. I like Tatum a lot, 8,900. Makes sense to go to Tatum over Kuzma at their price tag. Siakam, 8,300. Was very popular today. Didn't get to play much in the second half, so I like going back to him. Sub 7K Edwards, outstanding. Got to have a lot of interest there. Christian Wood is pretty solid if there's no Kevin Porter Jr. I think he's okay even with KPJ if he were to play. Jeremy Grant, 5,900. Sub 6K, you got to consider him a strong option. KCP, $4,400. Definitely the minutes are there on the table for him. I think Anthony Edwards. I think Thaddeus Young, $3,800 makes a lot of sense to go to. Some guys are priced a little too expensive for their roles right now. I mean, there's a lot of good small forward, power forward options kind of across the board. It's tough to it makes a lot of sense to spread it around. I know Dorian Finney-Smith had a strong game last time out. He's $4,500. He's the definition of a tournament play. It's a Lakers spot. Anyone can get there against the Lakers. I like to say everyone can eat against the Lakers now. I mean, everyone's just having a field day against them.
The new Pacers, if you will. Dorian Finney-Smith has the biggest earrings I've ever seen in a player photo. If you go to FanDuel, go to Dorian Finney-Smith on FanDuel. Look at him. Those are some hoops on those things. Look at those.
Hoops.
How fancy are those? Well, I mean, they're not hoops because I know what hoop earrings are. I'm not that. I mean, I have a wife and I've learned some things in living with a woman over years and years here. But DFS has some massive earrings.
You know what they call that? They call that he's iced out.
He is iced out. So, yeah, if you want to play DFS in DFS and push P with the ice T, look at that. Oh, I tried really hard. Did I kind of do it? Last question here. Serious talk. Scottie Barnes was 24.6% owned in the $9 tonight. Over or under 35% if Fred VanVleet's out?
If he's out, he'll be much higher on that.
Are you willing to fade him knowing that he is the definition of boom bust? No, you're not going to fade him. No way.
I'm not going to fade him. No. I don't think I'll fade him. No, I can't.
Just wanted to get the opinion out of a guy. I mean, you go through and the old boom bust tool, there's still a bust number next to his name. I'm just saying.
I'm sure there will be. And no, I can't fade him. I think he's a good play even if VanVleet is in. We just haven't seen a full rotational run from the Raptors team since the All-Star game. So, and there's also no OG. So I think people have forgotten that OG's out because we haven't seen these guys play a full allotment of minutes since the All-Star game.
I had 100% Scottie Barnes. I will be okay with that. You know, I also had 100% of DeJounte Murray. So we're going to continue on. You win some, you lose some, Ryan.
He played
ejections
right,
are bad. Didn't he get ejected?
Yeah, I thought he still ended up with like 50 or something, right?
Oh, but compared to good win points per dollar, I'm just bitter.
Yeah.
Brandon Goodwin smashed it over 5K. And again, I didn't look at a damn thing. I just couldn't believe how owned he was. He probably was a good play anyway. I just didn't want to click on Brandon Goodwin at crazy high ownership. He was like 35% today, wasn't he? Something like that.
Yeah, he was like a must-have for sure.
Yeah, he was probably a good play, and I'm just being bitter. Jason Tatum, $41. Kyle Kuzma, $35. Forward spot. LeBron there up there at $54. Probably the least enticing of all the spots to go play him is Yahoo. But you know what? You pay up for nice things here. We say it all the time. That's what you'll have to do. Anthony Edwards is literally half the cost of LeBron James. Seems like something to at least make note of. But Bogdanovic, $21. This might be the spot where I want to try to take some shots on him. At the exact same number as Scottie Barnes. I guess one's small forward, one's power forward, so a different positionality, but still throwing it out there. And then what do you do with Brooklyn coming off of getting annihilated by Toronto? Do we just write that game off in our brains in terms of the Brooklyn side and roster a Seth Curry at $19, or are we just not touching Brooklyn here going forward?
I think we should consider Seth Curry at 19. He should be one of the lead usage guys on the team when there's no Kyrie, but Anthony Edwards makes a lot of sense at that price tag, $27. Tatum at 41 makes a lot of sense as well. Prefer both of those guys than rather spending up to LeBron James. Scottie Barnes, good play, great play without VanVleet, good play with VanVleet. Looking at other spend down options at the forward spot, we get Corey Kispert at 10, James Johnson in the power forward spot at 11, which is pretty solid, I think. He burned a lot of people today, burned me, but I think I'm willing to go back. Gallinari is 13. That's pretty appealing. Marcus Morris in a Houston matchup, $18. Some solid value portions here to mix and match. We saw Moses Moody get the start last time. I'd shy away. But Jonathan Kuminga's 13. We've seen upside games with him at random times. So some solid options throughout the board here. Jeremy Grant's not terrible at 23 in a Washington spot either. A lot of guys have tournament winning upside here. And there's some guys who are priced a little too cheap for their upside, I think.
All right. Normally I would say this at the end of the show. I'm going to say it before center because I know some people tune it off at the end because they're like, oh, they're done with the analysis. Everybody get yourself a Rin pack in your life because the guy doesn't even ask questions. He's like, I said, I have to record later. I'm screwed. And he's like, no problem. Shows up. It's almost midnight his time. And he's just putting in the work for you guys. So if there's no other reason, then Ryan's awesome. Hit the like button. So just do that for you. That's just something I wanted to say before the end of the show. Let's go to center on DraftKings. Let's go to the top end there, but everybody get a Rin pack in your life. 10-1 for Karl Anthony Towns on a back-to-back here. Minnesota beat Cleveland. I still can't process that happened because Cleveland's been good. Didn't they beat Cleveland?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not shocked that they beat this Cleveland team.
Oh, that's true. This Cleveland team. Kevin Love, revenge spot. Nobody played Kevin Love on FanDuel. Another mistake. I got that one right. You know what I got wrong? Pascal Siakam. So again, I'm saying what I got right today and what I got wrong in my hand builds and things. But here we are. Center spot, Karl Anthony Towns, 10-1 against Golden State. Still something that I probably will try to make a thing simply because Christian Wood is your next center there, 8,100. I always think that there's viability to going to the top end of any position when you know a guy's going to be projected for a lot more points given. You can play Pascal Siakam there, sub 9K, power forward / center over on DK. Robert Williams, 7,200. We know the kind of block and stock upside that this human being can have. That's always viable. Double, averaging one on the season, 10 and 10, almost exactly. So 7,200 doesn't seem like he should be in play, but for tournaments, I think so. And our boy Zubats, he's all grown up. He's up to 6,100. The identical number is Capella. I'm curious to see where the ownership falls on these two guys at identical tags. I bet they're both going to get some attention. Maybe Zubats is actually more popular because of his matchup up against Houston, and he was the game changer, put up over 50 fantasy points. But if that's the case, I'm going to go to Clint Capella and try to make that a thing, even against Robert Williams and Al Horford. As much as I love Zubats, I think Capella might be the better play. Are you with me, Ryan?
Yeah, I think so too. It makes a lot of sense to fall on Capella. Yeah, there's 10-1 Cat in the Golden State spot I like going to. 8,900 Siakam, pretty appealing himself. I probably will go back to Andre Drummond even at an elevated 6,900. At some, not as strong as I did today, but in some sort of ownership. I like going to Dan Gafford all the way at $3,600 in a Detroit spot, all the way at the bottom. Pretty appealing price tag for me to target. Now, other guys who have center eligibility, I think falling on a Thad Young as a center spot seems okay, but I think I'd rather play Gafford to Thad Young's outright. Alfred Şengün, 4,100. It's not the craziest of tournament plays. The minutes have kind of all been all over the place. I'd like Şengün to play more minutes at 4,100. There is a pathway for him to get there. Not as much not as appealing if he's coming off the bench. I think considering a Dwight Howard might be a little too expensive now at $4,300. Matchup where it can go very small at times. I don't mind. I don't want to go to Dwight Howard at that elevated price tag at $4,300.
Last guy to throw in. If you don't have Fred VanVleet, it always sounds counterintuitive saying it, but Precious Achiuwa, he didn't even start. The dude went bonkers, and I know some of it was towards the end of the game. I was listening to a little bit of it there, but he was a guy who actually didn't close, I don't believe. Was plus 25, so yeah, he kind of fell in line with some of those other guys. They got some minutes, and people have been playing a lot of Thaddeus Young. I think Precious Achiuwa, 28-4. That's a pretty noticeable thing to be looking at out of him there. So looking at 28-4 in 24 minutes, this is not stuff I would normally think of being Precious Achiuwa like, but the guy just went completely nuts. He's still 4K. I think that's worth something. I don't know if he plays over 24, 26 minutes, but he probably doesn't need to if he's going to start doing this kind of stuff, Ryan.
Yeah, it's interesting there just because of what happened today. It's tough to really go there in some sort of confidence. Okay. But I mean, just looking at these centers, 2-center build on the sites makes a lot of sense. There's some, I mean, Gafford at that price tag across the board makes a ton of sense to fall on, I think. Even Cat to spend up, that's just fine. I think the upside's definitely there to break the slate. Not as many appealing guys here, just because of
FanDuel's pretty gross looking at it. It's Clint Capella's 6,600. That's fine. Zubats is better over on FanDuel, 5,800. Looking at his number there, Daniel Gafford 4,800 really sticks out there as well. When I will say Kelly Olynyk, even in 24 minutes, breaking slates. So that's a guy power forward center that you can definitely take some shots on as well on FanDuel.com. Guess I want to ask you about Dwight Howard because he only played 22 minutes. It got wonky. He was never going to come back into that game when they were getting blown out. But in a close game against Dallas, is this a spot where maybe Dwight Howard 4,400 we can go back to if the field isn't?
It's tough, man. It's tough just because it's tough to go there in any sort of confidence. I think the opportunity cost at center up top is obviously Cat. There's Robert Williams, and then there's Capella and Drummond. So I don't think we can go to Dwight Howard in confidence, but I think the field is going to maybe – I think he'll be a little bit overowned. I don't know. It's tough to – I don't think he'll be – actually, on FanDuel, he won't have much ownership, especially on FanDuel when you only have one center that you need to nail it, and I don't think it's Howard. There's too many pathways for him to fail, I think.
It's true. I just think of him being a guy, too, that if he plays 24, 25 minutes can put up 40. So
for sure.
Yeah, I see the case you're making. For me, it's just if he's rostered, people are going back to him. I'm assuming he starts here against Dallas. I'm assuming all of these things. And there's 2 hours difference between when the last wave of games starts. So it's 8 p.m. Eastern time. You have all 5 games locking before then. And then there's 2 hours until Dallas and Lakers. And I could see the Lakers doing some extreme stuff with this starting lineup coming off that New Orleans game. I'm just saying, they're starting Austin Reeves and Trevor Ariza right now. Like, would it really shock you if they tried to mix it up or do something different? It wouldn't to me. So maybe Dwight Howard could be a positive part of it. I don't know what you do with that spot in the event that he's not starting. But they did also just release they waived DeAndre Jordan today. So another small little tidbit. That could be even garbage time Dwight Howard possibly. Maybe. Fingers crossed. Let's go to Yahoo and round this one out. Top end, Karl Anthony Towns 41, Siakam 37. Going down a little bit further here, though, we've got Zubats at 19. He is really going to be popular. Isaiah Stewart, $17. That should be popular. Kelly Olynyk's $14. Dwight Howard, $13. Less appealing there. Precious Achiuwa, $12. I'm loving the center spots over here on Yahoo. A lot of guys cheap under $20 I like. Who are some of your favorites across this position to round it out, Ryan?
It's going to be $10 Gafford. I think he's pretty appealing. I like spending up for a Siakam at $37. That makes a lot of sense to go to. Drummond is 26. He's okay. I rather would go to Robert Williams at 28. Capella is priced very nicely at $23 here. Double center build, no issues here. Not a priority, but it's Yahoo. You can definitely mix and match by spending up or going in the mid-tier. Zubac, $19 is pretty solid himself. It's a fun center slate on Yahoo. I think there's a lot of good guys that have tournament winning upside, a lot of good matchups as well. So it's going to be a fun center slate across the board, honestly.
I agree with that. It's going to be really fun. And you talk about the opportunity cost. I mean, Cat puts up 55, he could break it. But also if he puts up 45, he could murder you. It's such a volatile position, I will say that, just because of the upside. Double doubles, especially on DraftKings. Yahoo, a little less pronounced, but still, as you said, not a priority for that reason. Oh, man, burning the midnight oil here. Literally for Ryan. Thank you so much to him for staying up late here, guys. Smash that subscribe button, the like button, all of the things on YouTube. But most importantly, 5-star reviews on Spotify and Apple go a long ways for us. That would be so awesome if we could see that. I think we'll have the free roll going Wednesday for it, or maybe we have the contest. We'll have the listener league contest going on Wednesday. Even better. But Ryan, any final words for the people?
No, thank you so much for tuning in. Fun 6-game slate ahead of us. Good luck, everyone.
He's Ryan. He's going to bed. I'm Eric. I don't know when I'm going to bed. We'll see you guys later.